Welcome to Ladies Group Chat, where Coachella chaos, creator drama, and weirdly intense Mahjong discourse collide. This week really has everything. A historic Coachella moment, a podcast empire getting side-eyed from every direction, and a breakup poll that proves some of you absolutely would end it between the Costco samples. The Alex Cooper conversation has tipped into that very messy zone where two things can be true at once. Some of the backlash looks deeply online and weirdly performative, with people sprinting to declare her cancelled before anybody has even sorted out what is rumour, what is reporting, and what is just fandom blood sport. But there are also real complaints in the mix, especially around allegations of underpaying guests and collaborators, while the big flashy deal numbers keep getting bigger. That is exactly the kind of thing that creates long-term resentment, because nothing makes people angrier than feeling disposable next to someone else's multi-million-dollar brand. Then there's the reporting around Unwell, including claims of a toxic workplace and allegations that her husband is a major source of abusive behaviour. And when the Bloomberg story drops, and then you reportedly miss an all-hands meeting, that does not calm anybody down. That just makes the room feel louder. Even the public-facing stuff feels off lately, like the acting cameo in Verity playing herself. Maybe fun in another season, but in the middle of controversy, it can read as painfully unaware. And the endless Alex Cooper versus Alex Earl content machine is its own little circus, because it keeps getting sold as both deadly serious feud and engagement-optimized soap opera. On the brighter side, Karol closing Coachella as the first Latina woman to do it is huge. Full stop. What makes it land is that she framed it as bigger than herself, as a visibility moment for Spanish-language music and for the community she feels responsible to represent. Her whole show concept sounds massive and very her. Female power, primal matriarch energy, this timeline of reclaiming sensuality and strength. I also love that she uses hair colour, almost like chapters in a diary, blue for sadness and healing, red for rebellion, pink for joy. That is pop symbolism done correctly, because fans actually picked it up and mirrored it. When your audience is dyeing their hair and getting tattoos inspired by an era, that's not background engagement, that's culture. And she tied all of it back to her work in Medellin, saying the fan community becomes an extension of what she's trying to build beyond the stage. That's a much more compelling version of artist branding than just selling a vibe. Now, the festival itself sounds like a beautiful nightmare. People were complaining about overcrowding, safety issues, and the sense that it was just plain oversold. If a speaker is falling on someone's head, we are past minor inconvenience. The ticket pricing talk was also wild. Hearing numbers around $4,000 for general admission makes the whole thing feel less like a music festival and more like a luxury stress retreat. And then you have the split-screen Coachella economy, where regular attendees are fighting for space while influencer compounds are doing gifting suites, Wagyu dinners, and private guesthouse luxury like it's a different country. That divide is part of why the festival can feel kind of spiritually broken, even when the lineup is good. Performance-wise, reactions were all over the place. Justin Bieber drew huge crowds, but the low-key hoodie energy definitely divided people. And Olivia Rodrigo with Addison Rae got hit with a lot of "why is this the pairing" feedback. Madonna popping up with Sabrina, though, that people read instantly. Legacy icon handing something over to the next generation. Clean, simple, effective. Zara Larsson had one of the sharper takes of the week with the so-called Kia Asylum problem, which is basically pop stars getting huge numbers while still feeling weirdly faceless. That critique hits because so much of the industry still treats women like interchangeable products, then acts shocked when audiences crave an actual point of view. Zara saying she now writes, produces, and designs more of her work because it feels like tending her own garden is maybe the least corny version of creative autonomy I've heard in a while. She also admitted to spending absurd amounts of time on TikTok and even liking and commenting on her own posts to train the algorithm, which is honestly both hilarious and bleak. And the nearly 20-attempt Wikipedia photo battle is such a perfect modern celebrity problem. Tiny issue, huge psychic cost, all because image control now feels endless. The bigger through line here is female industry dynamics. Everybody says women support women until the second fandoms smell an opening for a rivalry. The smarter antidote is what Zara and others keep saying: collaborate, write together, produce together, and stop treating success like there are only 3 chairs in the room. I need to spend 1 minute on Mahjong because this somehow became both wholesome and contentious. The wholesome part is people building local Mahjong communities, teaching neighbours, hosting home classes, and talking about the social and mental health benefits. Love that. The contentious part is mainstream media, once again proving it can take something culturally specific and make it painfully generic. That Hallmark Mahjong movie getting called out for Asian erasure and for linking with non-Asian Mahjong companies is exactly why audiences are so touchy about authenticity now. People can tell when a project wants the aesthetic of a culture without the people from it, and that always feels cheap. The Breakup poll was incredible because it confirmed that romance advice is basically event planning with emotional hazards. A lot of people said casual situations can end by text, but for real, committed relationships, plenty still want the respect of doing it face-to-face. Location opinions were extremely specific too. Many people preferred the splitter's home for control and easier exit, while others argued for neutral ground. And the forbidden breakup venues list deserves to be framed. Restaurants, cruise ships, Costco, Panera, public benches. A cruise ship breakup is honestly sinister because now everyone's trapped with buffet access and nowhere to hide. The hosts also tried AI for breakup advice and got the usual neat little coffee shop suggestions, which is exactly why you should not outsource high-stakes human mess to a chatbot with no sense of danger. Hulu is going hard into reality TV, and the strategy seems to be, if authenticity is fading, at least make the chaos watchable. There are spin-offs, influencer-heavy casts, competition formats, and that Parker Posey mafia-themed show, The Mob, which sounds culturally questionable and also like something people will absolutely hate watch. That's the whole business model, now cast for discourse first, premise second. At the same time, some of the legacy franchise stuff is starting to feel tired. There is only so much audience appetite for another extension of a reality family universe before it starts tasting like leftovers. 2 quick business stories because they're too good to skip. 1. The Sophia Franklin contract discussion is a reminder that a headline number can sound dazzling while hiding what you gave away, especially if catalogue and future episodes are all bundled together and the IP is gone. And that's the creator lesson, right there. Ownership is boring until it suddenly is the whole game. 2. The .ai domain boom is so absurdly perfect, over 1 million sites using it, around 140 every 2 years, and a tiny place like Anguilla reportedly getting about half its GDP from AI domain fees. The future is apparently robots and one Caribbean island quietly cashing the checks. That's the group chat for today. Thanks for hanging out with Ladies Group Chat, where the scandals are messy, the takes are honest, and somehow Mahjong is never just Mahjong. This episode was generated by Podkey. Create your own at podkey.fm.